What's going on, everybody? This is Qstrike back again with another episode of Monday Night Fight that's structured, commentated, Necromancer PvP action every Monday night, because why not? Now, I know it's been a little while since my last video. Sadly, I did say I wanted to do 2 videos a week. However, I did just start a trade school, which is why I haven't been doing the videos. I do want to keep up with the Monday Night Fights because commentating is something that I very much do like to do and would like to do with the spectator modes for Guild Wars 2, especially with the Boons and Conditions site. We get over here to the mansion, it's 3 of us against pretty much their entire team, so of course I pop my elite, think I'm going to get in there and do big things, realize very quickly that we're outnumbered and completely overwhelmed. So as soon as I see this warrior start to kite away, I'm just going to follow him, making sure I can get at least 1 kill for our team out of this horrible situation we put ourselves in, spamming that 1 ability off my Lich form, ultimate ability, elite ability, whatever you want to call it. I decided to cancel it early so I can get the stomp out just as the rest of this guy's team decides to show up and ultimately try to finish me off. Now, I'm not going to be the easiest target these guys expect me to be. I'm going to be running around trying to kite out to the rest of my team in order to make some kind of big plays happen. However, as I'm dodging out, I'm getting hit with cripples, other forms of CC, making it extremely hard to get distance away from this team. I go try to make it through the window. I'm not quite sure. I think it was lagging. The stress test servers were ridiculously known for their lag on the structured PvP side of things. So it took me a crazy amount of time to get that window broken. The rest of the team manages to come up behind me, finishes me off extremely fast. Bad move on my part getting stuck on the window like that. Should have tried to run through the clock tower down the other side of the ramp where I could have possibly met up with other members of my team in order to stay alive. Just goes to show you need to have that map awareness, especially when you're coming up on an obstacle like the windows that are so easy to break, to make sure that you're not stopping, trying to get, the objective down while you have the rest of the team just sitting there beating on you. Now, currently we are behind and we do need to make up some points, so I'm looking over here and see this Elementalist at very low HP, realize that he would make a prime target to kind of make up some of the points, since you do get 10 points for player kills. So I'm getting on him, using my Ghastly Claws on cooldown again, just for that burst damage. I mean, people like to poke fun, oh, you don't switch weapon sets a lot when you're in your Necromancer. Well, of course not. Axe Warhorn has crazy mobility, crazy burst, and absurd amounts of just damage all around. And it's just such a great weapon set that really needs a nerf. They need to adjust the damage to make other weapon sets more viable, because I feel 100% full confidence that I could take any condition spec Necromancer out in a 1v1 situation based off the damage that Axe Warhorn provides. So I get into this 1v1 skirmish up here against this Elementalist on the roof. However, I started the fight with much more health than he has. Of course, I have a full life force bar, so even if I ever felt in danger, close situation of myself going down, it was going to end up this way. This Elementalist was going to go down, which he does quickly, and my team manages to take another couple points. So now we have the 2 points. We're starting to get the kills, and we're slowly starting to get back into this game. With the clock tower being contested and me right there, I quickly realized that is exactly where I need to be, as I see the Guardian from my team being attacked by this enemy Necromancer. So I get on him again, using that Ghostly Claws on cooldown. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's really all you need to do in this situation, as well as positioning, which is of course the most important part. He pops his Death Shroud, he's doing whatever he can do to stay alive, and he's doing it very well. Again, using Ghostly Claws, you see me just staying in the back line, making sure I have total line of sight on this guy. However, you see a lot of teleporting happen. That's the lag going down. My Guardian goes down. You see me immediately pop into my Death Shroud, and then I fear him off as he goes for the stomp out, pretty much saving my Guardian's life in that situation. So I go for the res on the Guardian before I go for the stomp out on the Necromancer, making it so that I know that he's going to end up being okay, and then whatever damage the Necromancer can do in his down state isn't going to ultimately finish off my Guardian buddy. Now, we saved the clock tower, and again, we do hold 2 points on the map. We have been getting some kills, and you can slowly see us starting to crawl out of the early point disadvantage that we did have, where we're going to end up trying to come back and win this match, because we're never out. These matches can just change so quickly, especially on the forest map, where you have those NPCs worth 50 points toward the total point accumulation. Now, I hop down into the 3 members of their team. However, with latency, all that kind of different stuff, I don't think they all saw me, except for this Elementalist who does turn on to me and as I quickly turn onto him, getting my retaliation buff up, doing all kinds of different things, again using the Ghastly Claws on cooldown, and me and this tank spec Guardian managed to bring him down extremely fast. And that's one of those things that I urge you to caution, that if you're still kind of learning a different class, you know, all the different abilities that he has, be wary of glass cannon builds, because while they are very powerful, they really don't work in, you know, solo combat unless you've really played that class for numerous hours and just know all the tips and tricks to do the positioning and stay alive. You saw that Elementalist there not doing much kiting, just sort of standing in the corner taking a lot of the damage. So we get down here. There was a big fight at the mansion, however I didn't feel safe enough to stay in there doing a lot of different things, so I come down here to try to finish this warrior before he finishes off my Mesmer buddy Telf. Again, you can see him over at Telf TV, shameless plug. I wasn't able to save his life, but I was able to avenge him as I make quick work of this warrior as he just tries to do whatever kiting he's capable of doing. And then you can see here, this is where the match really starts to just come to a, you know, toward us, as we now own 2 out of the 3 nodes, with the other node currently being contested. We do have a 50 or 70 point advantage. Don't ask me where I got 50 from. And we're just, again, going to be looking for the fights, looking for the big plays in order to make sure that we can clinch the victory ultimately at the end of the match. Now, with nowhere left to go, I do head over to the mansion. This is just going to be such an amazing point. I know there's been a lot of little turning points. I do believe this is where the majority of the turning points do has. As I come around this corner, pop in my elite ability, the Lich form. I really want you to hone in on my positioning throughout this entire thing. The rest of their team is just kind of positioned in front of me, and you see me staying not max range, but max ranged enough to where I know I'm going to be okay. I got some guys I realize that are behind me. So again, get onto this Elementalist, positioning myself in a way where I know that I'm not going to be targeted with any kind of hard anything, with the rest of my team really in front of me to take the blunt of the damage. Get onto this warrior, same thing, positioning myself to where I know I can hit this warrior and I'm going to be safe from the rest of his team, even though the power of that Necromancer Lich form just completely demoralizing that enemy team. As you can see over the right, it's just Qstrike all the way down the board with kill after kill based off the overpoweredness of the Lich form. That one, I'm telling you, as a primary Necromancer player, does extremes amounts of damage. You can see the lag coming in for the stress test servers right there as we all just kind of do a little victory stand around. Absolutely nothing else going down. And but again, just powerful Lich form. If you see a Necromancer pop that elite ability, you have 2 options. Hit him with some kind of hard CC. The best, of course, is that Moa Morph, which I hate so much. Anybody that's been Moa birded knows that you just want to reach through the computer and strangle Telf over at Telf TV for using that on cooldown pretty much every time he sees me again. And the only other option there, the second option, of course, is to kite out as hard as humanly possible. You do not want to stand toe-to-toe with a Necromancer that has popped that Lich form. We get over here, I get feared, immediately find this ranger, realizing that I don't really need to be here because, you know, everybody's around. Again, you see that positioning. I kind of moved in an arch around the fight, not straight through the fight, because you run straight through, that's where you open yourself up to get hit with some hard CC and immediately get turned and focused on by the rest of the team. This ranger decides that he's going to go out and he just wants to, you know, try to survive for as long as humanly possible. I don't want to let that happen. I decide that I'm going to go kill him. I don't know, my brain saw him hop down as I saw the obstructed, which is of course the line of sight indication in Guild Wars 2, and I'm like, oh, he hopped down, I'm going to go finish him. For some reason he's up here, never hopped down. I guess I'm just blind, or maybe some kind of crazy latency thing affected my viewing. I see that guy behind me. I'm not really caring. We got the Trebuchet coming down here, enemy Trebuchet, just doing tons of damage at this point. So what I decide to do is I pop into my Death Shroud, using my Dark Path to go through the middle of this arena here, trying to avoid all the kind of Trebuchet hits that would be coming down to me, making sure that I can ultimately come down here to do the extra damage to this warrior that needs to be done in order to finish him off safely. Again, staying toward this wall, trying to avoid the Trebuchet from being able to get any direct hits on me, because that thing will chunk you down, excruciating amounts of damage coming out of those Trebuchets. See this Elementalist turn the corner. I decided, you know what, it's time for him to just die so that we can finish it, get the 10 points for the player kill, ultimately contributing to our overall victory, as we did have, you know, the point deficit at the beginning of the match. I think deficit's the wrong word to use there. The points were not in our favor at the start of the match. You saw through great team fights and great, node control that we managed to pull out the victory at the end of the match here. I'm Qstrike with Boons and Conditions. Great Guild Wars 2 fan site. Make sure you're checking those guys out. I hope to keep doing a video at least one a week from now on. Love you guys, and I'll definitely catch you on the next one. Peace.